What's up? How was your day?
Not much. It was good. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it's been a good weekend, I guess.
Yeah.
Busy.
What'd you do? Oh, you just worked pretty much, right?
Worked, yeah.
Yeah.
And yep.
Nice. Nice. Didn't you go out Friday night?
Yeah.
Yeah. A little hungover? Sunday, Saturday?
Yeah, it was. And then I had to work all day long from 11 to 8, so it was not a good day.
At Home Depot?
Yeah.
Dang.
Um,
Shit.
but it was fun.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, man, I'm recovering a little bit from yesterday. It was a interesting day. We went out for like Herson's, I guess it was the bachelor party. I didn't really know that like going into it because they're Hannah and Hurston are getting married this coming Saturday, the 16th, I think it is. And they're just kind of like doing casual thing. I think they already went to like the courthouse and got that stuff taken care
Mm-hmm.
of. So now they're just doing like a tiny little ceremony with her family, him and his sister, and I think that's it. They just want to keep it casual and small. And then after, they rented like the party room at Vi's, the Italian restaurant by Fox Valley. So yeah, they kind of threw it together, and then I thought we were all just like going out to the city yesterday, but it was for the bachelor and bachelorette party or whatever. But it wasn't like nobody did anything weird or crazy because of it. We kind of all went out and then like met up together. So we started at Maple and Ash, way too classy for my liking, like way too classy, and dude, it's just too expensive, and it was cool, but yeah. And then we went over to Play Chicago, which is like a club usually, but during the day it was like a day club. It was kind of cool. We had like two or three mimosas each. And then we went over to Utopia, which was the like place where we were meeting up with them. Taya and Heather are they've been drinking, as we all have, but yeah. We spent like an hour there. Long story short, I was planning on leaving a little bit earlier because I thought we were gonna film
Mm-hmm.
podcast. So I leave, and 10 minutes into me on the road, I'm still in the city. I see the fucking Willis Sears Tower or whatever. I'm on the Dan Ryan, and my car just stops. It like just stops driving, and I wasn't even like worried or freaked out. I was just like, okay, there's no shoulder, so I just like let it like kind of putter out and just like finally like go over to the right lane, and then I just stop and I try to turn it on, and it of course does not turn on. So I tried it like again 30 seconds later. I gave it like 2 or 3 minutes, and then I tried it again. It wasn't working. My radio's working, my lights are working, so my battery's working. But I had this guy in a Jeep pull over. I'm gonna put a picture on the screen in the video right now. I was sitting there for like 15, 20 minutes. Nobody helped or anything. So I finally pulled out my iPad and I wrote, I need a jump, because I thought it was the battery. I wrote it on my iPad and just held it. And then, like, 10 minutes later, this guy and his younger brother pull up in a Jeep, and they're like, we'll do it. We have cables, but do you have cash? Like, they wanted money for, like, to stop and jump my car. I was like, yeah, I have cash. And he's like, well, you got to stop traffic. So I went out, stood like this, stopped the 2 lanes of traffic, and everybody's beeping at me and shit. So they turn the Jeep around. We try to jump the car, didn't work, whatever. 10 minutes later, they leave.
How much money did you go?
Uh, I didn't give them any money.
Because it didn't work.
That was my reasoning. So $30 is what I had cash, I think. I think I had more than that, but I told them that. But I was like, I really need this $30 cash for later today. Can I Venmo you? And they were like, yeah. And I never Venmoed it to them. So I got lucky or whatever, but it only took 10, 15 minutes of their time. Next thing you know, a tow truck pulls up, and he tows me off to like a ride share. So at least I'm not on the expressway. He tries to jump my car, doesn't work. Luckily, he's like, I'll be right back. I thought he was going to charge me like $200, and I didn't even call him. But he just got in his car and left. He's like, I'll be right back. And I was like, fuck, how much is this going to be? And he just left. So I got lucky there. And then, yeah, Carlos came and picked me up, him and Taya. Left my car in the city. And Today I had to pay $380 something to get it towed from the city to the dealership. Nuts. And I don't even know what's wrong with it still. It's so annoying, man. Fucking cars. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm just kind of waiting to see what Hyundai's gonna tell me is wrong with it. But I hope it's under warranty.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, man. Fucking stupid.
That's a shitty day.
Yeah.
Well, a shitty end of the day.
I know, because I had a good time too. We were all having a good time. It was fun, but yeah. And I just, it was kind of like at one of those points, not that like things are shitty right now in my life, but like things were good for a while. So I guess it was just one of those times where, you get just kicked in the ass.
Yeah.
So
No, I know what you mean.
just trying to stay positive, but just,
I mean, I would just get a Tesla now.
that's what you said yesterday. And I was like, "Ah,
Dude,
dude,
they're not that expensive.
yeah, I know, but it's like if I'm going to spend 35 on like the base one, I want to get the self driving for an extra 10 grand. So then it's 45. I want the good speakers, but it's an investment.
Yeah.
So why is that what you want?
Yeah, I want to
you?
get a Tesla at some point.
Every time I say I want one, Hurston's like, nah, that's gay. I don't understand why he thinks that. I think they're badass.
My uncle has one, and it was insane driving in there. It's just like
They're fast,
they're
right?
so fast. He has the Model X, so he has like the bigger SUV one
Still
version.
though,
But it was like it's the one. I think it's like the more expensive one. It's like it was like 50 something, but still, it's not that bad. And it's like I would consider Tesla almost like a luxury car. Like the nicer you get them.
you get in there, it feels like you're in a spaceship. It's like
Yeah.
futuristic.
And that
It's,
it's almost like the laptop screen in there is insane.
it's like a 13-inch iPad. That's what it looks like, and there's nothing on the dash.
He was self-driving it, and he just sat there, and if you're driving like a main road with the lane changes, it just drives for you.
That's crazy.
And
It's the future though.
if you go by the car, of the fucking there's like his big camera or the big screen in the middle,
Yeah.
the cameras will turn on and it'll start showing you on the camera, so it'll start recording you, even when you're just looking in the window. So like there's no way if you break into it.
We do a lot of Teslas at the shop, and this one guy we did like a lot of work for him for too cheap, and he was like bugging us the whole time, and we like moved his car somewhere. He's like where'd you guys just take the car? And it was just weird because then I thought like, is he listening to us? Because I would occasionally be like, fuck this guy, like we're giving him such a good deal, and he's just being a bug, and pretty sure he could probably hear me through like the Tesla app
I
on his
don't know.
phone. That he for sure could see us. You can tap into the cameras
Can you?
from wherever you are.
Oh, so you probably could.
So he could probably hear it too. I don't know if there's audio.
I didn't even know that.
Isn't that weird?
It's crazy.
For like her.
They don't even have keys. They just have a card.
You walk up to it and it just unlocks.
If you have your phone and then you have the app and you're signed in, you could just use that.
Yeah. We have to get one. We have to get two, obviously. One each. One day, right?
Yeah, one day.
Yeah.
When I get a big boy job, maybe.
Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, just gonna see how that plays out. I'm gonna have less than 100,000 miles on it, so Hyundai's warranty is technically I'm covered for powertrain stuff, and I think it's something under the hood. And if it is, they reimburse me for the towing fee, and they'll fix it for free. So I'm just fingers crossed that that's what it is, man. So, but that was my Sunday. So there's that. Yeah. What about today? What'd you do? Nothing. Work.
No, I had work and then yeah, I have a little more laid back week this week, so I just had work in the morning for my internship, and then I worked out and had some stuff for school, and now we're here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not bad. Yeah.
You had work too, right?
Yeah. Mostly just stressing about the car, but yeah, I was at the shop today. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what was going on. But
yeah. You been watching any shows lately?
No.
No?
No.
So you don't watch like Netflix or anything, right?
Not really. The last series I watched was Outer Banks.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah,
You
so
finished
good.
that third
Mhm.
like real quick? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no Squid Game?
No, I've heard a lot about it, and I see it like on TikTok, but I don't really know. I don't honestly don't know anything about it.
No?
No.
I think it's a Korean show. If I'm wrong about that, I apologize. But I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
they're
I think it
Korean.
is Korean.
Yeah, at first I thought like, just by the lettering. I think it got so popular that they changed like the name on Netflix because it used to just be in another language. I think they changed it to where it says Squid Game. But basically it's like these guys and girls that are super in debt. They don't know this yet, but like they get approached by a guy and like I'm talking like billions and millions of dollars in debt these people are. And they get approached by a guy and they play him in like some weird, maybe it's a popular like Korean kids game or something, but they play him and they keep getting smacked if they lose. Like the guy just smacks them in the face and smacks them in the face. And then finally, I guess once they win once, then he gives you this card with a number on it. And then he's like, call me if you need money or call me if you want to play more games. I think that's what it was. So this one guy that they're following in like the beginning of the show calls the number because he's like super in debt. So he needs whatever money he can get. So he calls, and then I think just like a couple days later, he just gets like kidnapped and doesn't know where he's going, doesn't know what it's for. And then eventually he gets there, and there's like 500 people playing this game in a room. And they're like, okay, well, we're going to play games or whatever. So the first one that you probably seen on TikTok maybe is the red light, green light one. Have you seen any of that stuff with
Not
the
really.
big doll face?
Yeah, I think it confuses me though when I look at like just I don't
Like
know.
you just don't know.
I
Yeah,
don't
because you haven't
understand
seen
it.
it.
Yeah, I
So,
haven't seen it, so it's like
so it's if the light is green, you can go and move towards the line. If it's red, you have to stop. And if you move, you're out. So they weren't taking it some people weren't taking it that serious. So it was green, so they would run, and then it was red, so people were just stopping, but they weren't freezing. Like you can't move at all. So some dude just gets shot and everybody's like freaking out, but they're moving and they're freaking out and moving. And another person gets shot, another person gets shot, and then everybody runs everywhere and the light is still red. So this person, doll, shooter, whatever, is just killing people, just gunning them down. And finally, I think 20, 30 people are probably dead. And they finally start playing the game. Green, you go. Red, you have to stop. And yeah, man, that's game one. There's 5 games. That's all I'm going to explain about it. You got to watch the rest. You should watch it.
wait, so
It's,
there's 5 episodes then?
I think there's like 7. And dude, it's just like a demented show. It's crazy. I don't know. I mean, it's a show, just like movies are crazy and there's super gory horror movies, but it's like, what? You kind of think like, whose mind thinks of this? So yeah, every time they kill somebody,
It's like the Hunger Games.
similar, yeah. Yeah, what do they win in the Hunger Games? Just to live, right?
Yeah, it's like you win like to become like wealthy and like high class, I'm pretty sure. You know.
There's a couple of those, right?
Yeah, there's like 4.
I definitely have not seen all of those.
Yeah, I saw them. They were okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But that's when you explained it, that's what I thought of, like the
Yeah.
Hunger Games or something like that. But all
Yeah.
the games are different.
Yes. Yeah. There's
And is
red
there a
light.
winner?
At the end, yeah. So you start to get like attached to the characters a little bit,
Yeah, I
obviously.
saw an old guy, really
Yeah.
old guy. Don't say anything
I
about it,
know.
but
I'm gonna, cause if I don't know if the people watching this or listening have watched it or what, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but yeah, there's 5 different games. There is a winner at the end, and
and what
it's
that
crazy.
then they become like debt free.
Yeah, they get all the money that's in the ball. So every time somebody dies at the end of the game, it's round. Every time like 20 people die, they put in a certain amount of money, and everybody sleeps in this big open room with like bunk beds and stuff. And there's just a big lit up clear ball on the ceiling, and the money just keeps dropping in and dropping in to make them more like, oh shit, okay, I gotta win. Look how much money is up there. It's like 60,000 won or 600,000 won or something. It turns out to be like $32 million USD at the end of it. So yeah, it's definitely worth the watch. That and Clickbait. Clickbait's a good watch too. That one's creepy. Weird
Clickbait.
show.
Okay. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll watch Squid Game then.
Yeah, you might as well.
See what it's about.
Yeah. Just watch people dying. It's weird.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah. At first, you don't know what to expect. We didn't know either as watchers, people watching it, so crazy. But yeah, that was Squid Game. Hmm. Are there any updates in the Gabby Petito case? No?
Not that I've heard. No.
Did you see? Wake up, Maggie. You're loud. You're snoring loud. Did you see the flower bed thing?
Yeah, I saw that.
Dude, I don't think I don't think that that's like a.
That'd be crazy.
You think that's a hand?
That would be crazy. I saw the video of it. It's kind of hard to tell. You can't tell.
Yeah, it's kind of like, have you seen those things where you hear two words and it shows you one, but it's not the right one, and you like hear what you see?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's that. Like we're watching this flower bed, and there's like a hand that comes out or something, but you're looking for a hand.
Yeah.
So you're like, as you're watching it, you're gonna be like, okay, she said there's a hand, so there's the hand when you see it move. But I don't know, man. People were saying like the dirt would have fell. If he's under there, that's nuts. I don't think he is though. I think he's in Costa Rica or something.
I don't know. I mean, it's been a while, and I feel like it's just
It's been like
eventually it's gonna fall off, and it's gonna stop being talked about.
I think it already has.
It really has.
Yeah, it's because it's yeah, they're not no breaks in the cases, so they're kind of just like dropping it. The news moves on fast,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah,
But there's a
good
lot
news.
going on in the world, so yeah. What else are we talking about today? Should we talk about some business stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to. I don't know. Like, obviously, you're a business owner, and
am.
I am a business major.
Yes.
So it's like I like to, hear, because you started basically from the like, like you're what they would say is like self-made, right? Like, is that what they would say? Like self-made. You start like you know what I mean? Like you kind
Yeah.
of just started it on your own, like
Yeah, I didn't get like a loan, or we didn't
yeah.
start with like a lump sum of money.
And like so basically, and for everyone that doesn't know, it's like you and Carlos own Fresh Fit Meal Prep, but you were
Yes.
the one that came up with it.
Person.
Herson, okay, so Herson came up with it. You guys all worked together, and something happened there.
Yeah.
But obviously, you guys are all best friends still.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what was it? But I was gonna say is like, basically, why'd you want to start a meal prep company? Like, what made you want to do that? There's so many things you could do.
That's true. Yeah. This was like 3 years ago, and at the time I was working out all the time and training people like pretty much full time with how many online clients I had. And Herson called me one day and he said, "Hey, let's meet at Starbucks tomorrow morning. I want to talk to you about something that I want to do." And he didn't tell me anything about it besides that. That's all he said. And I was like, "Okay." So next morning we meet up and he tells me, he's like, "I want to start a meal prep company and I want you to do it with me." He's like, I want to just provide what you need me to do, but I know you're good with like all the numbers and the macros and the that stuff. Um, and I didn't even question it at all. Like we were there, and right after he told me, I literally just like looked at him and said like, "All right, let's do it. When should we start it?" And that same weekend, right after that, is when we started taking orders. So we just Herson's like that, and I'm glad. Not that No, I am glad that it was him that brought the idea to me, because he's one of those people that if you're gonna do something, you're gonna do it right then and there. Like he's doing it, and that's just the way he's built, and it's awesome. Like to have that trait, and I think he kind of like pushed that onto me. I didn't know what I was doing. I was going to school and not going to school. I took some classes and this and that. I took a business class, and I was like, this guy doesn't even own a business that's teaching me business school shit. And yeah, right when he told me, we jumped right into it because it went perfect, like with everything else, fitness and the training. So yeah, that's kind of how it started, and it was not my idea. It was Herson's idea, but it doesn't matter who came up with it in the beginning. We brought Carlos on like 2 weeks later because he reached out to us because of the restaurant, and from there we just never stopped running. Like we just ran with it, man. We got up to almost 1,000 orders within the first year, and yeah, man, It's good. It's been good. Really happy with it. Obviously, you lose kind of like that um, new company supporter, uh, like I guess influx of orders, and then it really starts to test you. Like, what do we have to do? How do we stay in business? And then COVID hit, and that was all crazy too. So yeah, that's kind of like the origin story though of Fresh Fit. So if it was up to me, I don't know. I never really thought about other businesses that I wanted to start. So yeah, now I have a couple more. Not really like actually, yeah, I do. The videography and photography technically.
Yeah.
I'm 1099 with Herson, so it is a sole proprietorship. So I haven't started an LLC for that, but um, Herson wants me to become uh a part owner of Elegant at some point, just like 10%. So yeah. So you want to own a business too? Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know
No.
what business I would even get into. I mean, I really like sports and um like I've really got into like clothing with like Rocco and them, like getting into stuff like that. And I don't know, it would be cool to kind of put something together with something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just interesting to hear about how people start their businesses and and how it like flows together with everything. Because like obviously I work with you guys, I'm very close to like you and Carlos,
Right.
but there's a lot of stuff like that. I mean, I'm just like I just help out, with the meals. I don't know any much about like um the marketing or really the behind the scene stuff you guys do.
Right.
And I know it's a lot of work. I mean, you're working all the time for them.
Yeah. A
Or
lot of.
for you're as the owner, you're doing just a lot all the time.
Yeah.
There's like no breaks for you.
Yeah. No. I mean, I think a lot of people like see a business owner from like the outsider. They see the business, and if you've never done it before, you don't really know everything that goes into it. And people say that it's hard and that it's not easy, and there's a lot that goes into the back end. And I think where some businesses don't flourish is like when you don't put that work into the back end. So, yeah, man, there's a lot to it. Being your own boss is like what everybody wants to do now, which
Yeah.
is awesome. But that freedom comes with new responsibilities. Like you are your own boss, and you're going to end up working more hours per week than what you would if you did a desk job, 40 hours a week. And you won't have health insurance, you won't have benefits until you grow your company to a big enough size to where you can provide those for yourself and your employees. So dude, it's all about risk reward. So
Yeah. But I mean, it's like for you I think you enjoy doing it.
I do.
So it's like that's what I think the most important part of it is, right? Is like everyone always says is like these people might make good money or have jobs that they don't like, but they make good money, so they just stick it out and they're unhappy their whole life, right? So it's like you're an owner of a company and you enjoy doing it. It's something that you like.
Yeah,
So it's like you're happy doing it, and I think that's probably the most important thing, right?
I'd rather struggle to build something of my own that I love to do than make more money and sit at a place that I'm unhappy. That's just some people are okay with the latter. Some people are okay with just doing, the regular job and unhappy with it, but I think that like bleeds out into other parts of your life. If you're unhappy with your job, your family's going to make you happy, but you're going to come home happy to them, but eventually that unhappiness with your work, you're not like fulfilling what you need to be doing, and you know that deep down. You know that you're not happy doing that. So eventually it's going to bleed into like other parts of your life. So and that's not to say that you have to be a business owner. Uh, some people are literally fine with working for somebody else, which is totally
Yeah,
okay. But
but you just want to be happy doing it.
yeah,
And I think that's more important. I think a lot of people are starting to realize that too. I feel like as kids our age are just starting to not want to work like 9 to 5s anymore, and they just want to work. You know, you know what I mean? They want to be their own boss. It's like the new thing. right? You see that everywhere. It's like everyone's trying to be an entrepreneur now. So, so I don't know. I don't know what the
Yeah.
future is gonna hold within like that aspect of it, but
It's cool to see that, man. It's cool to see the drive that people do have, and I like to see people bust their ass. I hate handouts. I hate people that like handouts. You and I have talked a little bit about stuff like that before with Carlos, like with unemployment, just a little a little bit, and like stimulus shit, and
yeah, I mean, everywhere right now is just nobody's working.
yeah, man,
There's
it's
so many places like it's crazy. Like it's huge corporations too. Like Panera Bread, I go in there and they only are taking takeout or like mobile orders because
yeah,
they can't handle people coming in and doing both because they have no workers.
right,
It's everywhere. And like I just don't understand like and you even hear like customers will come into stores or even like Home Depot and be like they'll be like nobody wants to work.
yeah,
And
it's
I
crazy.
don't get it.
I pulled up to Chipotle like 2 weeks ago with Allie, and it was like 3 o'clock, and the sign says, "Sorry, closed until 5. Staff shortage."
Yeah.
And it just, I was like, at some point, this has been going on for at least a couple months. We got to look at like why that's happening.
Yeah, is it because we're not paying like they're not paying enough or is it just because people realize they're going to make more on unemployment or are they just lazy?
Oh, I think it's a
Mixture of all of
mix.
it?
It's a mix, definitely. I think
Yeah.
it starts with one, which is probably, I mean, it doesn't have to start with one thing. It could start with laziness, and then people realize that they can get paid more to do nothing. I don't even understand unemployment 100%. Doesn't it eventually stop, or can you stay on it?
I thought it eventually stopped.
And can't you only get it if you had a job previously?
Yeah, I
I
thought
thought
you had to be actively like showing that you're looking for employment,
every week you're supposed to log in and like certify that you've been
but there's probably a way you could just get around that.
crazy, man. And we pay in to unemployment as fresh, like for fresh fit. That's just one of the small things that a lot of people might not realize when you have a business. Like the amount of money that you have to pay into the state, the federal government, it's crazy, man. They get you everywhere. They get you everywhere. Payroll taxes, which makes sense, but I didn't think that I would have to pay into unemployment. Like I didn't know that's the way it worked, but we do have to. So, uh, yeah, it's just you'd think it'd bleed out, but it feels like people paint the picture that people are sitting there forever just collecting checks. I don't know how that works, and I think that's a problem. I think we should all know how that works, and maybe if we did, we wouldn't be in a shitty mess. But I hope it turns around, man. It definitely is hard to get hardworking people now, because I feel like the hardworking people that want to like move on and do something good or better themselves or better their life are the people that probably want to start their own businesses a lot of times. So it's really hard to find somebody that one is just a good worker and shows up to work and does what they're told, and nobody's gonna care as much about your own business as you do, which is it's something that you got to get used to if you own a business.
Yeah.
But you got to treat them good, and I feel like I've always treated anybody that's helped or worked for me like good, and like no matter what, I would, if they need something, I'll help them, and I feel like I kind of get more respect back. They'll work harder for you. So, yeah, man, it's crazy times. The whole unemployment stuff. We're like 3 billion trillion gazillion dollars in debt as a
I
country.
know.
I don't even know what the number is. What even comes after the next set when we add another zero?
I mean, is that even I mean, I don't even know how it's possible.
I know. I haven't been keeping up with like politics,
No,
but I
me
know that
either.
they were talking about like raising the debt ceiling basically so that we could just spend more money.
I mean, why do we even have why can't you just make enough money just to get out of debt? I
They
don't understand any of that stuff. It doesn't make sense to me.
How are
So,
we that much money? Like how are we, it just how
and
are
then
we
we
that
still
much in
give money
debt?
to all these other countries all the time.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny. I saw someone on Twitter. It was like the U.S. is like that much money in debt, and then the next day it was like the same news like account was like U.S. to pay this country like $50 billion, and then the guy quoted and was like, I thought we were out of money or something like that.
They
I just
just
don't get that. Like I don't really understand how any of that stuff's work. I mean, there's someone out there that understands it, but not me.
we should try to find somebody.
My brother's an economics major.
We should have him on the podcast.
I'm sure he would know all about that stuff.
Does he still live around here?
He's in the city.
So he would be able to come here and do it with us?
Yeah.
Ooh, we should do that.
Or I mean, if anything, he'd probably hop on a Zoom call and talk to us. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Dude, that'd be cool. I'd like to learn personally about it, and I think people should know that stuff.
yeah, he's a financial advisor.
Oh, really?
So he's like all into stocks and like kind of that stuff. I don't know exactly. I think he just switched jobs doing something else, but yeah, now he's getting his master's in like computer software, computer engineering. So it's like
Oh, wow.
yeah, at
Good for him.
Loyola. So
Dude, that'd be cool. We should try to get him. Is he into crypto? A little bit?
probably I don't ask him a ton about it. I probably should because he's probably very knowledgeable about it.
What's
But
something we can ask him if he
he
knows about
knows.
it?
I mean, I think he knows quite a bit about all that stuff. I feel like you kind of have to.
Yeah, if you're in that space, if you're a
Mhm.
financial manager and you're helping people do good things with their money or make more money off of their money, then yeah, you got to probably be on top of those things that pop up. And
Yeah.
so that'd be really cool to learn more about that. That'd be awesome.
So like, what question for you? So,
Mhm.
what would you say to someone that wants to start their own business? Like, how would you go about it? What if they like what's because of what one of the biggest things is what probably money wise, not having enough money or maybe even support.
Yeah. So the support thing, you can't it's kind of like what we talked about last episode a little bit. Like you can't give a shit what other people think. And if there are people that aren't supporting you, if it's a crazy, unrealistic idea, hopefully you have people in your life that'll like tone it down and be like, okay, what's your first step, you know? But yeah, support, man. If luckily I've had nobody ever didn't support me with what I wanted to do. Um, so that helps a lot to know that the people in your life are going to support whatever you want to do. If you don't have that, I'm sure it has struggles, but you kind of got to separate yourself from those people. If they're your family, just kindly disagree. But as far as the money thing goes, it really kind of just depends on what type of business you're starting. But there are people that like to lend out money to make money on their money. So if you're starting, money shouldn't really be a problem for most like business owners that want to start a business, unless it's like a restaurant or most of the stuff you can start really small and then scale it as you grow, which is how you should build your business because it's going to have like a strong foundation. You're not just going to jump into like something up here when you could have got in right here and learned a bunch of different things to where you got here, and then you have a really strong base because, well, then you also need a bunch of money to start if you want to just jump to the top. So you can always start small. Like if you want to sell t-shirts, buy a $250 screen printing machine where you just press it on, put it in your garage, and sell t-shirts on Etsy until you make enough money to buy a bigger machine and just keep moving up and up and up.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that what you did? We talk about that last time, right? Didn't you talk about the mugs or something on?
Yeah.
What did you talk about on the podcast?
Yeah. Yeah. You asked me
Yeah,
like if I had any other ideas.
yeah. So I mean, that's an example right there of like
It's going in the
something you
garage
could
soon.
even do.
Yeah, it's going in the garage soon. And here's the thing, if you have an idea for a business and it's not, you can't get there right away, find a side hustle to make money to eventually, so know
That's
where you
like
need,
yeah,
yeah, know what you need to start the business that you want to start, and then grind and hustle other ways to make money and just save, but like plan out your steps to what you need to get going. And I think that's, a lot of people don't want to grind and put in the work, and it's not always just grinding and putting in work for the business. It's doing other stuff, like I just said. So you have to be willing to sacrifice your time, any extra time you have to put in to work to make money to build your other business or the main thing that you want to do. A lot
yeah.
of people don't understand that.
No, well, a lot of people don't want to do that either.
They're not willing
And like
to.
I'll never say like I don't ever want to like grind. You know what I mean? Some days
Mhm.
I'm like I don't want to go to work. Like
Mhm.
I don't want to do this, but like you have to. I've kind of started to realize that the last few weeks. It's just like, I mean, you're so busy all the time, but at the end of the day, like this week I have like free time in the afternoon because I'm not working at Home Depot this week,
Yeah.
and I'm just like I'm kind of thinking like, man, like what can I like? Last week I was like, crap, I don't want to go to work today, but then now that I have the free time, I'm like, what do I do with it? It's like I should be working or making money somehow.
Yeah.
And
Find a hustle. Find a side
well,
hustle.
dude, I you probably know about this, but Gary Vee was talking about like when you said like a side hustle, it was like he goes to garage sales and he still goes and he's worth like 400 million.
Yeah, I see those.
And he goes there and he'll buy stuff and he'll resell it and he'll make like 100 like $50 profit and like it makes his year.
Jeez, man.
And like I remember listening to somebody said that on Craigslist. Did you know that Craigslist has like a free
Free
section?
section.
I didn't
Yeah.
even know that.
Yeah, I got a glass cabinet out there for free on Craigslist, and I just painted it. That mirror that I painted, I got it for like $20, and I just painted it black and gold. It's fun, but yeah, there's a lot of people that
But
like flip
you
couches.
can make money on that. Is what I'm trying to say. Is like there's a way to make money on there.
Yeah, you can just. I saw this girl on TikTok that flips couches on. She buys them for really cheap, or she finds free ones, and like cleans them with like a steam cleaner, and then resells them. There's always a way.
Yeah, there is.
And if you really want something bad enough, you're gonna find a way to get yourself in the position to take advantage of that.
Even if you go to like Marshalls or like Ross or something, there's like isn't there like an app you could use to kind of look at like the Amazon price and the price
Is there?
there? Yeah, and it'll tell you how much. It'll literally tell you how much of a profit you can make. So let's say it's $20 at Ross, but if you get it and you sell it, on Amazon, you look on Amazon, it's selling for like $42. You're like, oh crap, and then they do like the calculation, like how much it would cost to ship it, how much it would cost, and then you end up making like $8 on the product.
I've seen.
I think Gary Vee said like, I think he said if it's above like $6 profit, you should do it every time.
I've seen guys do that, like on with shoes at like
Yep.
Ross on TikTok.
And like, and I work at Home Depot, so I have this one guy always comes in like once a month, and we have a bunch of stuff on clearance. There's a website you can go to where it shows you everything on clearance in every single store. So he'll go on this.
Wow.
He'll go.
There's-
I don't even know how you find it. But he came in one time, and he's like, "Hey," he was showing me this website, and it showed Home Depot, our store in Shorewood here, and it showed all the stuff we have on clearance, and I had to go through and find all this stuff for him. And he basically
Really?
he would buy it. So let's say it was a Ring doorbell. The Ring doorbell is like $59. He's like, I can go on eBay. I'm gonna sell it for like 120. And he's like, it might be in my garage for 6 months. It's like a lot of product, like inventory.
Mhm.
So he's like, I'll spend $1,000 tonight, but over the year, it's gonna
Yeah.
like, and that's his living. Like he said, his garage is just filled with inventory. And he said some months he makes like a couple thousand. Other months he makes like 200. He's like, it
Wow.
just depends. But he does
Yeah.
it on eBay because I guess it's cheaper to ship it.
Dude, that's
But that's like, I mean, that's a hustle right there. I mean, I don't know if I could be able to do something like that, but
depends on what it is, because if you do need money for a certain thing, you can't. If you're just wanting money quickly, you need to do the quick flips. You need to look for the stuff that's
Mhm.
like gonna get you money right away. But long term, yeah, that's like baseball cards and stuff. What people are doing, they're buying them now and holding on to them. Same thing with those NFTs.
yeah, I'm not super familiar. I know they're just like pictures, right? But
Yeah,
they
that's
kind of look stupid,
that.
but
Yeah,
they're very
dude,
like popular right now, and they're expensive. They're a couple thousand.
100,000.
Although not the ones I've seen, but
I follow Logan Paul and Mike
okay,
Malak
well,
or whatever.
yeah, well, they're billionaires.
Yeah, so crazy. Yeah. Dude, there's always a way to make money. It's just putting the work in. Like all those baseball cards that I have sitting there, man. I don't want to go through them, but I could make a couple $100 off of them. It's just right now where I'm at, I'm not willing to put in that time to maybe make a couple $100. If I was thinking maybe it's going to make me a couple $1,000, then I would find the time to do it. But it's all about like how much you value your personal time. So, yeah. But yeah, man, that's crazy to think about. There's always a way. There's always a way. Some people come up with some cool shit too.
Yeah, and it's like,
Real creative.
yeah, and I feel like I don't know, like obviously I'm in school and stuff in college, and I mean school's what it's fine, and I enjoy it for the most part, but I feel like you don't learn stuff like that in school. They
No.
kind of just teach you to you're
Work.
gonna go out get a desk job, work a 9 to 5, and it's like I feel like a lot of people are starting to go away from that. So like a lot of people are getting their degrees and they're like, I don't want to do what I'm doing right now. You know what I mean? And that's why I decided to do business because it's very broad and there's a lot of
Hmm.
stuff. But like some people are like becoming nurses and they're like, I don't want to be a nurse. Like,
Well, there's like three things that I could think of right away that makes like going to a university or school after high school problematic, I guess you could say. When you're 18, your like mind is your head is your brain is still developing, right? I think they say till you're 25 years old, your brain is still developing, like your frontal cortex, which is like what helps you make good decisions, I guess. So how are you supposed to decide what you want to do at 18? 4 years later, like you said, it's probably going to be different. Some people are lucky enough that it does stay the same. The second thing is how much money it costs.
yeah,
Dude, people go to a 4 year, if you go to Iowa for 4 years and you get no money, no scholarships or anything like that, and you just simply go on loans, at the end of the 4 years, you could be like $150,000 in debt.
dude, it's like, I
$150,000.
didn't really realize like I'm taking like two classes and I don't even know how much I'm paying, but like, dude, classes are just so expensive. It's like $5,000 a class. And it could
Dude,
be more for some places, but like just in general, like it's a class. Like even online when it was Zoom, they were still charging like over $1,000. I was like, that's
it's
crazy.
it's one of the biggest businesses, man. It's crazy, yeah. And then yeah, man, I just think people are getting shocked like when they finally get out of their 4 years and they're done and they look at like how much they owe and they start paying on them. Dude, that's got to be such a shitty feeling because throughout those 4 years too, how do you know? Well, this is kind of on the person, but you never know if the degree that you got, if that field is going to be on the decline. What happens then? A lot of people that got like majors in, I don't know, I can't think of an example right now, but there's definitely some majors and degrees that you can get where it's not really used as much anymore, you know?
Like I'm
Then
trying to
what do you
think.
do?
I don't. Yeah, I know what you mean though.
Yeah, then what do you do?
Stuff's changing, and there's some fields where like you should if you're gonna go to school, you gotta go into like have success nowadays. You know, like
Yeah.
anything in technology is a great field to go in. The medical
Mhm.
field's always good to go in. Business is good.
Yeah.
Um,
Even, I
but
mean, cars. There's always going to be cars and always cars breaking down.
mhm.
So, kind of in a way, it's on the person if they pick something like you got to think about the future of the career that you might want to do. If there's no future in it or it's going to get killed off by robots in 5 years, 10 years even, and you plan to support your family for the next 40 years on that job. But that's what I'm saying, when you're 18, you don't think like that usually. Like,
No, everyone's just excited to go to college, and like most parents, that's they instill like they want you to go to college, and they're like, oh, pick a university, and you just kind of get engraved in that, and then afterwards you're just like, man, like my buddy's over here in the union making $100,000 a year at 19 years old, works Monday through Friday, has weekends off, doesn't have any loans. That's the biggest thing. Doesn't have to pay any money, and he's got benefits. It's just like at some point, I think people are gonna realize that universities are just not the path. And like, hey, I'm for college. I'm not against it, and like obviously I go to school still, so it's like,
mm-hmm.
but you do realize like as you get older, it's like maybe like you don't have to go to school.
Right.
It's not something that is required. Maybe back then it was more required to get a good job, but nowadays like it's not.
And I think that sometimes
Well, actually, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe nowadays it is a little more required to get a good job, but
job, yes, but still not to be successful.
yeah, exactly.
Um, yeah, man, that's like I think a lot of parents don't realize that. I don't like when people tell me like that their parents. Like, it's good to push your kids to do something, but at the same time, you have to let them make their own decisions, and you can't get mad if they don't want to go. I don't think I'm not a parent. I don't know what it's like, but in a way, you're pushing your kid if you're not going to pay for their school. You're pushing them to go into debt, deep into debt. Does I don't know. To me, it just sounds like it's a risky financial decision because once again, you don't know what's going to happen in the next 4 years. So, yeah, man, it's rough. School, why is it so expensive, man? What the fuck?
Yeah,
What are they doing?
and there's like, and they try to, I don't know, like, if you look at, there's scholarships for everything. Like I get scholarship like because I'm Hispanic,
Oh, really?
but I don't even speak Spanish.
Yeah, no.
So, but you know what I mean. There's also just scholarships for everything, and I mean I feel like they try to help you, but
You have to
at
do
the
the
same
work.
time they don't really try to help you.
But
They
if
want
you
money.
dig, you can get a bunch of random little ones that add up.
Yeah,
There's a websites that you put in all your information, and it'll be like you can apply for this one, this one, this one, this one. But it
but at the same
250,
time, it only helps
250.
you for so like it only helps you so much.
It's a crazy.
Like you said, it's like you do. It's like literally you're going and you don't like you just said you really don't realize that when you're going to college. You're excited. You're more like,
Mhm.
oh my god, I'm gonna go, and everyone talks about the parties and the stuff, and then you get there and it's just like, man, I don't want to go to my 8 a.m. class. And I would love to see the dropout rating. I bet you they've gone up
Oh, I'm sure.
because,
Oh yeah.
and it's like not. I don't. I mean, there's like if you don't want to go and finish school and you go there, you at least you try it.
Mhm.
Hey man, I just hope you figure out something you like to do.
Right.
Because you could definitely have success without going to college. A lot of
Oh yeah.
success. There's so many people that have it.
And I think companies, business owners, people are more willing to just hire somebody based off of what they know and not how they learned it. Anybody with this in their hand or an iPad or a computer can learn anything for free as long as you put the time in. It's on the internet. Just because a professor is telling you doesn't make it that much better. It's still, if you're learning the thing, you know it. And what's cool about a lot more people being entrepreneurs or business owners or self-made, I guess you could say, um, those people are more willing to say, fuck it, dude. You don't need a degree. If you know what to do, I'm going to hire you. And that's what I would do if I was in the position. If somebody had a 4-year degree and somebody had no schooling, but he or she was way better at that skill, I'm sorry, but I'm going to pick him. He's more qualified with knowledge just because she put the 4 years in. I don't care. I'm going to pick who's going to be the best for my company. And I think there's a lot more people or owners, business owners willing to like have that approach to it. Elon Musk said it. He said having a degree doesn't make you smart.
Doesn't.
You could still be stupid even if you have a degree. So, things are changing, I think. People are realizing that it's a it's a big commitment. And it's good that people are realizing that though. It's more talked about a little bit now. You still have to have a plan though.
Yeah.
It's not easy if you don't go to school. You're going to have to put in more hours
Working.
working. So it's just a different type of grind. Yeah. What are we at here? Shit. We're
Hello.
almost at like an hour. If there's anything else you want to add, we can add it. Otherwise, can wrap it up. What we should
Bless you.
bless you, Maggie. We should really try to get a guest now that we have it all good and set up.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Hopefully episode 4 we'll have a guest, hopefully. But thank you for listening, watching, whatever you did it on. I think we're getting some feedback from people, which is cool.
Yeah, I think we should have got the audio figured out now.
It's good. It's good for the second one.
The third one.
Yeah, this is the third one.
This is our fourth.
Oh,
No,
the
wait.
intro.
Crap. No, this will be our third actual.
So
yeah.
the intro I did 000.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
Yeah. So the second one, which will be uploaded tomorrow, the audio is good on it. It's
Mhm.
fixed. But with this new setup, as you can tell, we got the new sexy mics and the audio interface, so it should be even better. And yeah, cool. Subscribe, like, follow. What do you listen on? Spotify?
I like Spotify.
Me too.
That's my favorite
Did
one.
you know Apple Podcast has video?
Yeah, you told me.
But we
Did you-
can't do it unless we buy another hosting site, and we don't want to pay the extra money.
Yeah, not yet.
So YouTube is good enough for video. Yeah, like, subscribe, send us messages. We had somebody comment on the last reel about my
Yeah, but you thought he was joking.
kind of because I could send him the link to the PP.
Yeah, but
PP
you
ringer?
responded as like it was a joke, and then he was like dead serious that he was still wetting the bed.
Yeah,
So it's kind of like,
yeah.
oh,
Sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Well, I didn't realize he was like 14.
Yeah,
Or
but thank you for listening. I don't even know what his name is. It
I
just it
don't.
doesn't say it in his thing. But shout out to you for listening. That's awesome. And I hope you grow out of that seriously because it's kind of embarrassing when you're young like that and if you have sleepovers with your friends. So,
Yeah, but I mean, he'll get over it.
yeah, you'll be good, man. If you need anything else, just send us a message. I'll help you out. I'll answer your questions, give you some wisdom. But yeah, we'll wrap it
You
up
should
now.
probably send him that link.
The link is coming.
I would send him the link.
All right. Well, cool.
Yep.
See you guys next time.
Yep. Sounds good.
See ya.